Welcome to Outlander Media Network. We're at the end in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Kirby Lee Bailey, and I'm with Dallas from Narcotic Wasteland. How's it going?
It's going well.
All right. Hey, is this how long has this tour been going? Is this one of the earlier shows, or is this one of the? How long has this tour been going now?
For us, this is the very last show.
Is it really?
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
That's been going since the very beginning of the month. We've been out for about 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Yep.
And you get ready to head home to the wife, huh?
Yes.
He's smiling.
Absolutely.
Where's home at? Which state is it?
Well, I have residence down in South Carolina, but we've been staying up in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
How's it up there in Michigan this time of year? Is it starting
Beautiful.
to get cooler yet, or
It's great. I mean, even though it's hot, it's like not muggy or humid
or anything?
not as bad as down the dirty South, if you will.
So, how's this show been going? How's the tour been going for you guys?
It's been going great. Played some places that I've never played before, even with my previous band, Nile. Places like Chattanooga, Tennessee. Never been there before.
What'd you play at Chattanooga?
It was a small little bar, but it was really cool, and it was pretty packed out, and the other bands that played were really awesome. And this has been one hell of a tour.
So, was Chattanooga your favorite, or has there been another one?
It was definitely a highlight, but I don't necessarily have like a favorite. I just like to play loud and play for people. I usually don't try to have high expectations or overanalyze anything until all the joy is drained out of it. I find that, especially at doing this 35 plus years, I find that quite annoying.
I get that. So, which one of the metal bands that got you into this? Like, that one band that said, "I want to do this kind of music right here."
For this kind of music, I guess it was probably early Metal Church was a big one. I started out on the drums, and I was a big Neil Peart, Keith Moon, Bonham, Bill Ward kind of fan. So there's the four big ones. Of course, Black Sabbath and Zeppelin and all that stuff, and Rush and a few other things. And when I was about 14 years old, that's when I picked up the guitar. And I was already rocking out to like Priest and Maiden and stuff like that. But I started getting into a little bit of the heavier stuff, and that kind of sparked my interest in picking up the guitar more. Because I could always play a little bit. My grandfather played. So I do a couple of things, but I didn't actively practice until I saw a buddy of mine in high school. He was playing this chord, and I was like, "How are you doing? What is that sound?" And then I just took it from there.
You said Metal Church. Was it the Dark album, or was it Blessing in Disguise?
That one was good too, but the very first Metal Church album was the first one I ever heard.
Yeah, I remember I didn't get the first one. I had the Dark. It was on cassette. I remember that.
Mine was on a dubbed cassette that a friend of mine from high school gave me. Then finally I went out and started collecting these cassettes because like I said, I was a big Rush fan, so I had a lot of their albums, a lot of the, what they call vinyl now. Back then we just called them records. It was either records and tapes.
The weird thing is with vinyl, back then it was like $10 for a vinyl. Now you're paying $40 for a vinyl.
It's getting crazy. I remember when Rush Grace Under Pressure came out. I was like 10 years old soaking wet when that album came out. I went to Paradise Records and Tapes in Fayetteville, North Carolina, my hometown, and bought that record for $5.
Yeah. I remember I got a lot of mine when I was in that age area from the good old folks at Columbia House.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did that too. I did that for a lot of my Rush collection that I had, because I had like almost pretty much all the Rush albums. And and I would go to Paradise Records and Tapes, and things were like $5 or $6. So like once every other week or so, I'd go in there and buy something. And next thing you know, I've got a buttload of Priest and Maiden records, and Rush records, and all kinds of stuff. I had a couple of Kiss records back in the day. And I got some cassettes too.
I remember when I was 5 years old. And my first record was a Kiss album. It was Destroyer, but I was 5.
Love Gun.
I
was 6.
But funny thing, Love Gun was my very first cassette that I ever got.
It had the little paper gun in there.
Well, I remember, like I said, Kiss was already seemed to be at the front of my line every time. It was my very first. The record album was Destroyer. My very first cassette was Love Gun, and my very first CD was The Crazy Nights.
I think my very first CD might have been, because it was a while before I got a CD player. I think my first CD was actually Metallica and Justice for All. And somebody gave me Whitesnake also, which sounded really good. And then I just started kind of collecting my catalog that I already had. Another cassette that I bought this in 1988, and I wore the cassette out and bought another one and wore that one out, and then eventually got it on CD, and that was Sanctuary, Refuge Denied. I saw them open for Warlock and Megadeth back then, and it blew my mind.
Yeah, I remember you're talking about the Justice for All. My first metal concert was Justice for All, and I loved it so much I saw it twice that year.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw them. I saw Queensryche and Metallica.
Yeah,
in Fayetteville at the Cumberland County Civic Center.
Yeah, mine was Metallica and Queensryche for the first show. That was in Knoxville, the Civic Coliseum, and then I saw them with the Cult at Starwood Amphitheater when it was open up here. And I said that's why people said, "How come you didn't go to that Metallica's stadium tour?" I said, because I was at the real show back in the day when it was Justice for All. And a lot of people don't even realize this part. When I saw that Justice for All show at Knoxville, that was a 10,000 seat arena back in the good old days when you could smoke in the arena, and it was all general admission.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They opened the door, you went racing through at 100 miles an hour. I'll never forget those days.
Oh yeah, and all the cigarette smoke and.
When the first act got done, it looked like a big cloud in there. You couldn't even see it. Your eyes were burning.
I think it was September 22nd, 1988. And I think the ticket was like $22.50. Think about that.
Yeah. Well, I remember we were all bitching when I was in Knoxville, Tennessee, when the first concert that came by that was a little pricey. And it was the Michael Jackson Victory Tour, and it was $30 to go to that arena. We were like, I am not paying $30 to go see Michael Jackson, and here we are today. And I'm like, and some of the tickets I've seen come. Like,
well, if I'm not mistaken, after Thriller came out, I remember hearing on the news, even as a young kid, that was like $100 tickets to see Michael Jackson. Yeah. Maybe it was like up in front, like the nosebleed section.
Yeah, I was not going to be sitting up front with watching Michael and his brothers up front. I was going to be sitting way back here in the back.
I'll be honest with you, I would have never gone to one of their concerts anyway.
Oh, no, not
my thing. Not my thing.
Well, back then I was going to every metal, I was in the glam rock back then. That was my main ones.
I liked some of that stuff growing up. I definitely had a couple of Rat albums. Actually, Columbia House. I had Rat, I had Out of the Cellar, and Invasion of Privacy. Really great guitar tones on those records.
Yeah, my very first concert was Rat. And when I saw them, that was in '85, and there was this little small band that was opening from Jersey, some bunch of unknowns called Bon Jovi, and we were just like, wow, these guys are pretty good. And we didn't realize we were seeing the making of a really big band up front. And Rat was the headliner then.
Wow. My very first concert was Rush Power Windows Tour in 1985, I believe. So I was like 10 or something. I was like 10 years old. And my mom took me. She really liked them too. She thought they were really good.
Oh, Rush was amazing. I mean, they were just probably the best musicians you will ever meet.
And the live, live is impeccable. But it's fast forward many years later, they did their 40th anniversary tour where they played Moving Pictures in its entirety. So guess what? It ended up being my son's first concert.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's a little older. I think he was like maybe 13 or something. But that was a really great experience, and they sounded amazing. Alex Lifeson was on complete fire that night.
Yeah, I took my youngest daughter to her first concert, and it was Insane Clown Posse with Head PE over in Louisville, Kentucky.
I never even heard of those guys. And then just earlier this year, we played a festival in Michigan called Brutal Fest with a W.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of like a brewery kind of place. And they headlined it.
Oh, Head PE?
Yeah. I was really very much entertained.
Yeah, you should have seen them back in their heydays when they were really off the chains back.
They sounded killer and they kicked ass.
Oh, and Jared always puts on, and he's such a nice guy too. If you ever meet him,
all those guys were cool. They were actually the guitar player was using my amp.
We interviewed Jared at a show up in Lamasco and Evansville, Indiana, and he was having problems with his sound check, and we had to cut the interview short because he was like telling them, we didn't cut it short, but he's like, I don't really care. I'm over that damn sound check guy. I'll just stay with these guys for a while. You might want to get your show going here. But he is such a good guy. He's probably one of the most patient people I've ever met in my life. Of some of the touring people I've met. So we all just, when you get done tonight, are you going to drive back to Michigan or do y'all fly back?
Yeah, I've got to drop both Kenji and Joe off at the airport because Kenji lives in San Francisco and Joe lives in Colorado.
Jesus.
And the reason being is because you cannot find people to play on this caliber down the street. You just can't. Or even if they can, do they have the right attitude about playing? Are they willing to go out and tour? Can they go out and tour? There's like all kinds of factors. So I got really lucky with these two guys. They're stellar musicians and team players, and they want to do it.
So will y'all be having another tour after this one's over? And about later on in the year, or
we're going to be home for a month and then we go to Europe.
Oh, going overseas.
Yep. And then still trying to figure out what I'm going to do next year. We're going to release another album, and then I'm going to try and get out to NAMM again this year. I didn't get to go last year. I went for the first time the year before last. I didn't get to go this year, but I'm trying to go next year.
What's NAMM?
It's a big music convention out in Anaheim.
Oh, okay.
And they have all the vendors, for instance, Ibanez will have a big booth there, and Tama Drums, and Seymour Duncan Pickups, and all these guys will have set up booths out there, and you can talk to them and check out their products. It's just a cool place. I got to meet some really cool people, and I got to see some people that I've known for years out there. Hey, man, what the hell are you doing out here? Oh, we're over. Come check out our booth. You know what I mean? So we're trying to do that. We definitely are going to keep the pressure on out on the road, but we haven't really booked anything super solid next year yet. We do have Michigan Metal Fest, and we are playing Hawaii. That's already confirmed for 2026. Hawaii show will be in October, so we'll definitely have some more material out by then as well.
Awesome.
That's the plan, and then in the meantime, I'm going to be working on my YouTube channel, Dallas Toler-Wade YouTube channel. I'm doing product reviews over there and playthroughs of some of the songs that I've written over the years with my previous band Nile and with my current band Narcotic Wasteland, and it's been getting a lot of great response. Also, I'm going to be putting out all of my guitar tablature on the Dallas Toler-Wade website. So far, I have 2 songs up, and they're just flying. I mean, people are really picking those up. A lot of fun. I think I may have just swallowed a bug. That's okay.
Well, the good thing is I'm a nurse. If you need me to do CPR on you, I can start pressing on your chest if you want me to. All right, we're going to wrap this up because we got a big show tonight, and we're Outlander Media Network, and we're out of here.